Wow, yeah.
Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille show. My name is Jerry Miller. It's great to be with you on a Friday. I love life. If you love life, it can't help but love you back. This program features the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. We try to do this through the eyes and ears and the brains of people that are doing well by our community. Today's guests embody those qualities. Lester Seal, Brian Festa, Julia Kwolyk in the house. They're going to play some music. Brian Festa's already bringing those percussions that make goosebumps show up all over my body. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages you're watching this program on. You know what, Judah? Damn it. Go to the studio camera, please, and welcome the guys to the show. Lester, que pasa, hombre? How are you?
Yo está muy bien, mi hermano.
Oh, that's great. Costa Rica. How are you doing, baby?
Yeah, doing good, brother. It's good to see you again, Jerry.
Your second rodeo on the I Love CVille show.
Second rodeo, yeah.
What's new?
So, been doing a lot of music and just finished up my first single that I'm going to be releasing coming up around in the springtime, early summer. And so, yeah, I've been doing that and getting ready to head back to Costa Rica, like you said. And, yeah, just kind of been enjoying being home for a little while. And, yeah, so.
Margaret Matthews says you're sweet like candy.
Oh.
Robert Davis, Lester got engaged. You got engaged last night?
No, that's my brother got engaged.
Okay, he got engaged. Todd Hill says, Lester. I see Costa Rica watching right now. All right, throw this to you here. So music is your passion? Living life to its fullest, your passion? Being the best version of yourself, your passion?
Yeah, it's
how are you doing that from a day-to-day standpoint?
Well, I think the biggest thing that really made the hugest shift in my life was when I started to learn to sit with myself and go inward, because I feel like all of us were kind of taught to distract ourselves from what's going on inside. And so any time that I would feel uncomfortable, I would immediately try to run from it instead of sitting and being like, what is this? And instead I would go out and I would kind of go drink or just do different things that would kind of mask those feelings. And so when I finally started to sit with myself and go inward and be like, well, where does this come from? What is the root? And begin to let that out. That's really what has made the biggest difference lately in becoming the best version of ourselves that we can become. And
I love it.
yeah, and so kind of that and learning to love yourself and love your faults and your beauties, because if you don't love yourself,
you can't start to love other people.
Others. Exactly.
Yeah, it starts with loving yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy and selfish, but it's undoubtedly the healthiest way to live life. If you love yourself first, then you can reflect that internal love to other people. You can share it.
Yeah, you can help others, and it's kind of like the oxygen mask thing. When you're on a plane, it's like when the oxygen masks come down, they tell you to put yours on first, because if you're in a state where you're trying to help others without an oxygen mask, then you're eventually going to collapse and not be able to continue on and help others. So when you fill yourself with what you need and you love yourself first, then you can be at a healthy place where you can help more people. So
I love it. Brandon Lovett says, I'm so proud of you, Lester. Keep it up. If you have any perspective you'd like to share, and Lester's about to introduce his partners in crime over here, put your perspective in the comment section of any of the 12 Facebook pages, and I will relay it to the musicians themselves, just like I'm doing with Sarah Reckenbach, who says, I am watching Julia. I can't wait to see you perform. Lester, the show is yours. Introduce these partners in crime.
So we have on the violin the beautiful Julia Kwolyk. And,
hello.
Yeah, her and I first, I think we met, maybe Noah, I can't remember, but the first time that we really started to get closer was when we did the jazz opera with John Dirth. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, and ever since then we've been best friends and always loved making music with you.
Yeah.
And so,
Always reconnecting when you're back in town.
Yeah.
And we got Brian Festa.
Yeah, and then over here we have the beautiful Brian Festa on the percussions. And yeah, him and I, we met actually just this summer during Conscious Dance. We were at this thing and he was like, yeah, and I'm into music. And then I lit up, I was like, I love music too. And so we kind of reached out and we started making music from there, and it's gelled really smoothly. And It's always kind of been like a soul brother connection. So.
I love it. I love it. So let me get to know you guys. Brendan is watching in Aspen, Colorado. Folks in North Carolina, Richmond, and D.C. watching right now. Ladies first.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Julia Kwolyk, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What is Julia all about? Her passions, her hobbies, her interests. What makes her tick?
I am an artist at heart, so that's on all fronts. I've been a musician since I can remember, violin and singing, and I absolutely love to express myself through music and drawing and painting. I have a show coming up next Friday at First Fridays at VMDO at
Nice.
5:30, so you can see some of my paintings and graphics there. I love just being creative with other people and being goofy, and I love, I'm a very spiritual person as well. I love God, not afraid to say it.
Nice. Great. I love that.
Yeah. So those are the big things for me. Yeah.
You're getting props right now from Leslie Lard Reichenbach.
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 Yeah.
Woo! That's family, right?
Yeah, that's family.
Watching in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
All right, how about Brian? Brian's got the California connection. I see California all over the stream right now. My friend, your second rodeo on the show. You're making quite a name for yourself in such a short amount of time in Charlottesville and Central Virginia as a percussionist. You certainly are fabulously talented. What is new in Brian Festa's world, my friend?
Well, thanks for the compliments.
I mean it.
The thing I do is called Catalyst Music and Healing Arts. I'm a massage therapist, world percussionist, and I teach yoga as well. So,
Renaissance man.
You could say that. I'm just doing the best that I can in all the things that I do, living the life that I love and loving the life that I live. So my big dream is to create a musician's residency retreat center in the general area of Charlottesville in these mountains. And the Catalyst Music and Healing Arts is the microcosm of what I am fostering in order to do what I do in a small way in town in Charlottesville, develop relationships and develop community, mix lots of music, give body work, teach yoga, and then bring that onto land so I can facilitate that for musicians who want to come and heal and also focus on what they do best, which is music, so that they can tune their own instruments in order for them to be better able to make music for the world.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack right there, dude. You got it going on.
Right there, bro.
You got it going on, homie. I love it. We're about to play some music. Let me get some props out from the people that are watching right now. Go Julia, go Lester, go Brian. This is from Eric Podolowski. He's watching from Con Artists. He says the Con Artists alumni watching from San Francisco's best microbrewery. San Francisco in the house. What up, San Fran? H. Rothenberg watching right now. I see Naples, Florida watching. I see Costa Rica watching. Pennsylvania watching. Flora Martinez. I am so proud of you, Lester. How's this make you feel, Lester? You wear your emotions on your sleeve, right?
I do. Yeah.
How's this make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel kind of, I don't know, it's interesting because Costa Rica, I feel, is kind of the first place that I really started to come into my heart and let it out fully. And so, yeah, to have people kind of down there that are family and supporting and tuning in right now is a good feeling. And now finally coming back home and feeling that support and tapping into that has been a beautiful thing.
You know what I love about Fridays? Is I love music. It's the world's language. I love to party. I love to get after it. I love to have the weekend come a little bit sooner. So I'm going to tell you right now, I live life really hard and fast. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let you guys do one of your favorite things in life. My friend, the show is yours. Tell us what to do.
Cool. So this song is one. I always love throwing musicians I play with curveballs. We rehearsed other stuff. And this is one I just told them this morning, like, hey, we're going to do this song as well.
Ooh,
and so
okay.
this is one called Give a Little Love and Happiness. And so.
all of the days, oh, they just the same. Well, I've been loving on each and every way, and I've been saying all of my dreams, and I've been praying on each and everything. Well, give a little love and happiness. Give a little love and happiness. Give a little love. Give a little love. Give a little love again. Well, I've been searching long now each and every time. Oh, they don't know, they don't know, they don't ever wait. And I've been needed, hoping and praying. All of the times, all it comes all again. I give a little love and happiness. Give a little love and happiness. Give a little love. Give a little love. Give a little love again. Well, you just never want to wait, never want to wait. You're the only little love. And now you find all of the memories they go. And I've been saying all anticipating all of the dreams. And I've been crying all of the ways. Well, you just always in my love. Just the same. Well, you just in my love. Lead on the way. Well, give a little love and happiness. Give a little love and happiness. Give a little love. Give a little love. Give a little love. Yeah. happiness. Give a little love and a happiness. Give a little love. Give a little love.
Dude, so good.
Or give a lot of love.
Oh my gosh, my heart is racing.
I know.
I have goosebumps. Don't you feel like the energy's palpable?
Oh,
Don't you feel
totally.
like I'm like wearing the energy as like a scarf right now? Heather Hightower says, Julia, you're absolutely killing it.
Thanks,
She
Heather.
leaves the heart emojis everywhere. Brian, you're getting props right now from Aaron Hackett and Stan Griffiths.
Thanks, guys.
Watching right now. We'll get that a little
Love
closer
you,
to you.
Hackett.
Lester, you're getting a lot of props. Tammy Petrie, Margaret O'Day, Shayna Black giving you some props right now. Tell us about that song, baby.
Yeah, so that I mean it's kind of speaks for itself. It's just
It's like your
go
mantra.
out and give a little love and happiness into the world, and yeah, so that's kind of the basis of that one. It's not
Throw this to you. When you have a guitar in your hand and you're behind your mic, you feel so like comfortable. And I see like this version of Lester come out that is like, you know, like you almost amplified and you like wanting to like share and share love and peace and life to the people that are in your vicinity. What's it like for you when you're behind this microphone and you have this music, this instrument that's an extension of your body?
Yeah, so with music, that's kind of the place that I've always felt most comfortable. And I'm sure y'all could maybe relate to this as well. And that was always the place that, like, I knew it's like, okay, I can completely let go and be myself. And so now I've been in that place of matching my normal everyday life with the same level of confidence and self-love as I do when I'm creating music. And because it's important to believe in ourselves, and it can be easy to have self-doubt and let that cripple you and crush any little dreams that you have. And so it's always important to kind of find that thing that you're passionate about and go into it deeply and let it lift you up and kind of in certain ways. I don't know, I remember Charles Owens was talking about this guitar.
Love Charles
And,
Owens.
yeah, me too. Yeah, they're going to be playing tonight, actually, Darza at the Potter Cider Place.
Whoa, we'll get that on there. Keep going, Judy. You want to join us on screen? Keep talking to us, baby.
And so, I don't know, music is that thing that essentially helped me get through some of the hardest points in my life.
Okay.
And this guitar has been with me ever since I was 17 years old, and it completely changed my life. Because when I was 17, I hitchhiked and took a Greyhound all
told
around
us
the
the story.
US.
I love this story.
And did I tell you about that?
Yeah,
Like
the first time. Tell us again.
Oh, yes. So I was in a Greyhound station, and I saw somebody playing guitar from behind, and this person had a red dress, long blonde hair, and from behind I was like, what is this music they're playing? It's so good. And I went around, and it was this person playing there, and they were playing this open tuning. And I was kind of thought it was really interesting, and I asked them later, I was like, well, what is that tuning you're using? And I wrote it down, never thought about it until I got back home later when I was 18, and I found this piece of paper with the tuning on it. And so I started playing this music, just kind of that naturally came out, that almost had like an Indian or Middle Eastern flavor to it, and kind of noticed I would leave my body for long extended periods of time when I would be doing this. And that's when I first started to question. I was like, well, what is that? And begin to feel like there's much more out there than just this physical realm that we experience every day. And so I started to dig deeper and deeper within myself and would spend a lot of time in nature. And yeah, through music is what got me into meditation and kind of realizing that we have a lot inside that we haven't really tapped into. And it's, I don't know, I'm very, very much into the mindset is that we're all very telepathic, and we all have many different special gifts that when we kind of get away from all the distractions and start to take that time to go deeper into ourselves, a lot of beautiful stuff comes out.
I love it. I love it. How about we relay the props? I'm going to throw it to you guys here. Julia, Joe Kerr says, can you sing the national anthem for your Fountain Blue friends?
Fountain Blue, yeah, I sung the national anthem when I was in France for all my French friends. So.
You've got a lot of props right now. We see France watching. Stan Griffin says, this is absolutely amazing. Lester, you're getting props from Gunther. It's nice to see you happy with your music. Chris Kyle says, love from Mexico. Obviously, you see the phone blowing up with people trying to leave comments right now. Sky Perry says, bro, that was so nice. Mary Lou Wooten Fitzgerald says, Lester, I'm waiting for some Elvis from you. I love your music to the moon and back. Give it a like and a share on any of the streams that you guys are watching. Julia, jump in here. What is it that you loved about the song and you playing alongside Lester and playing the instrument you love so much?
I love improv. I love catching a wave, so to say, musically, right. And just playing around and seeing where I can fit in, and so highlighting and then pulling back. I love the playfulness of it, and that it's different every time, because that's what you get with improv. So you're in for the ride, and you just have to lean in.
I think one of the aspects that I love about Lester, and I'll throw this to you guys, is like his skill is improv in a lot of ways. It's like every time you play a song, it's going to be a different version of the song, and that's what makes that song so special. You may say like, oh, I know that track, and then you may be listening to it, and you'd be like, well, I haven't heard it played that way, and I like this version. And I love that version, and this one's different. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that aspect about live music and also about playing alongside Lester Seal.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Well, playing along Lester Seal is wonderful because his energy is contagious, and just what he puts out there, his confidence in what he brings is just so genuine every time. He's one of the most talented vocalists I've heard. Especially like untrained, he just comes to it with such an intuitive sense.
And passion. And
passion, yeah. He just is really able to use his instrument really well. So I love that, and I love playing with talented people like Lester. It's really a treasure, and so I'm here to be a part of the mix and just enjoy it, yeah. You
have a great way with words. That was very well said.
Thank you.
Thriving metropolis of Greenwood, Virginia. Yeah. It's watching right now. Says, love you, Lester. That's from Candy. Yeah. Let's get our homie Brian Festa in the mix here. Jump in here. Anywhere you want to go. What'd you think about the song? What'd you think about the dynamic here? About improv, about music?
So, yeah, I would consider myself an improviser. And, I do a lot of jazz gigs, and what I also love, like what Julia said about weaving in and out of music, me as a percussionist is what I love about being a percussionist, because in percussion there's many flavors of instruments from all around the world. And so, I could have chosen to play the clarinet, but I chose an instrument that requires me to play many drums from all around the world. And what I love about that is I get to incorporate the rhythms that I learn from those various traditions into the style that I approach when I play like a drum kit type of situation. Like this is a small little hybrid drum kit. I have a cajon as a bass drum, and it's just really fun to improvise both in setup as well as stylistically.
Especially when you're in a tight studio like this.
Exactly. Yeah. So as a percussionist, I don't have to bring in a full kit. I can do a hybrid setup and make it work, no matter who I play with, whether it's Lester or John Dirth or the Jason Burke Band or Greg Howard. It's all different all the time, and that's what's wonderful about attempting to mastering the art of improvisation.
Nice answer. I'm curious of this. The layman, you guys are the experts. The layman talking here. You bring the vocals. You bring it. I mean, talk to me about like the, like if someone's like working out really hard, there's a level of fitness that they have to maintain to perform well, like at their sport, at their craft, at their talent. Your talent is bringing vocals, baby. Like, how do you do it? I mean, what kind of like wear does it have on your vocal cords? I mean, do you get exhausted? Is there like is it longevity-esque potential? I mean, all that to you.
So it's interesting that you bring that up because I've got a perfect example of the longevity and whether it wears on your vocals. So the music that I grew up on was soul and Motown and oldies. So groups like Little Anthony and the Imperials, the Shy Lights, Temptations, Otis Redding, Donny Hathaway. I mean, for me, like the biggest influences were like the Temptations and Michael Jackson and people like that, and James Brown, of course. And I saw this video of Little Anthony and the Imperials, and at this point, Little Anthony is probably was in his 80s around this time period. And when you sing properly and you're like coming from the diaphragm, raising your soft palate, doing all these different things, if you sing correctly, it's just going to grow and get better over time. Where if you're singing incorrectly, it's going to hurt and you're going to damage your voice. Where there's a lot of singers now, like Vince Neil and all of these old rockers.
Example.
Yeah, where
she says she can't hit the notes anymore.
Yeah, and so it's like, if you're taking care of your voice, it's going to grow. Because Little Anthony, he has this song, Hurt So Bad, that the version when he was younger was really beautiful. But when he sang it when he was in his 80s, there was way more depth and beauty, and it was just came from a much deeper place. And he actually did it better in his 80s than he did when he was like in his 20s. And so,
good answer.
Yeah. And so
you're saying you can pound a fifth of Jack and smoke some Camel Reds and be fine?
I don't really support that but yeah, it's kind of, if you live that lifestyle, I mean, because our body, it's our tool. Like I feel like our bodies are temporary, but we're eternal. And that's something that the Aborigines were really like tuned into, is that we're eternal beings. And which kind of like blew my mind in other ways, but I won't go deeper into that. But our body is essentially our vessel, how we experience this realm. And it's important to take care of it. And it's really important to be outside, walking, and really tuning into breathing. A lot of us, we forget to breathe, and we forget to breathe deep. And that's such a crucial thing. And just eating food that is good for you. Like we're constantly bombarded with stuff that is not food at all. And it's given the image of like, hey, this is good for you. And they greenwash it and do all these things. But at the end of the day, it's just processed crap that was put to us by corporations that don't care at all about you and just care about making money. And so it's important to be aware of where is your food coming from, and to just really like be aware of the water that you're drinking. And like it's just kind of, I don't know, it's important to be aware and conscious of what you're doing and kind of what you're putting in your body and what you're putting out and putting on to other people. And so.
Heather Haslip is giving you props. Tom Richards is watching in Fulton, New York. He says you guys are all amazing artists. I count 8 different states watching the show now. Costa Rica and Mexico watching the show now. France was on earlier. Our buddy Brian Combs from Pro Renata watching the program as we speak. The Southern and the Jefferson each have the show on as we speak. Give it a like and a share if you'd like to relay any commentary in the feed. Put it here, and we will pass it along to them. I'm going to stop talking. Song number 2. Anywhere you guys want to go?
So yeah, let's go ahead and keep it up. And then after this one, we can hit the single. And then, so this one is called The Golden Path.
Okay.
Based off of kind of my love for Frank Herbert and all things sci-fi and fantasy.
The Golden Path.
The Golden Path, yeah. And so that was a term that came from a book in the Dune series. And essentially it was kind of that path that like human society kind of like when they get back onto that, they can kind of go deeper and continue as a species. And so I was thinking to myself, well, what is that golden path to me? And so yeah, so that song is all about that.
Your friend Carol Whitney says San Francisco, California in the house right now.
Land away from here. Can't you see the golden path is clear? Land away. See the golden path. go from being blind to see. To see. To see. So say I know from hell. Can't you see the golden path is clear? I know can't you see the golden path is clear?
Beautiful, Lester. That was beautiful. It was very, very, very good. I can't wait to hear about that song. I'm going to relay some of the listeners' perspectives. Your brother's super proud of you. He says, I'm on a ladder 20 feet up, and your music sounds absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sean Dart, giving you some props. One of my favorite records I produced was with Matthew McAllister and with Julia. She
Thank you,
has a
Sean.
great touch and adds so much value to any band and any music she's involved in.
Thanks.
It's from
Thanks,
Sean
Sean.
Dart right there. Carol Whitney, it's just loving what she's hearing from you.
Thanks, Carol.
Lester, this is perhaps my first. Let's give some love to Puerto Viejo.
Yeah, sí, Puerto Viejo.
Puerto Viejo is where?
In the Caribbean side of Costa Rica.
The Caribbean side of Costa Rica. You're getting love from Puerto Viejo. Nell Andres, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. David Phillips, so beautiful. Much love, Lester.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps my favorite comment of the day comes from my friend, your friend, Sky W. Perry. I hope Sky becomes my friend. I'm loving this music. Good stuff, man. I'm taking it all in while cleaning a rooster I just harvested. That's from Sky.
Yeah, you gotta know where your food's coming.
Yeah, that's right. Lester, the show's yours, my friend. That was a good one, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that song.
So, yeah, like I was saying, that was all about going, kind of tuning into, I don't know, right now I'm kind of floating. I feel like playing music instead of talking. So yeah, that song is all about kind of the golden path and kind of coming back into our power and kind of walking as the fullest potential of ourselves as we can and kind of tuning back into essentially where we once were. I'm a very big believer in that. We were once way more kind of advanced as a human race. And if you look around at all the megalithic structures around the world and all of these different things, there's so much evidence kind of pointing towards that we're way more in tune with nature and way more awareness of the subtle energy of the planet and all of these different things. And we utilize that to our abilities, just kind of like how Nikola Tesla was kind of trying to turn us on to a bunch of different things that we were not yet ready for. And that's usually how it goes. It's when people when they're ahead of the time or aware of where we once were. Like Alexander Graham Bell said, there's nothing new under the sun. And it's like when those people show up, we kind of like throw rocks at them and we don't understand it. And so, yeah, that's kind of what that song is all about, is coming back to that golden path and that place where we're living in harmony with the planet and kind of using all of our mind and our heart. And,
I'm going to ask you guys what you think about that song, Rasa Fall. Watching the program, great song, great message. Absolutely love everything about that. Brian, Carol, or Andre Lavelle and Christina Dean say hello.
Cool.
It says the
Hey,
music
guys.
sounds absolutely beautiful. If you'd like to relay any perspective, put it in the comment section of any of the 12 Facebook pages. Tim and Crozet says, anytime Lester plays music, I try to listen, watch, and learn. Kind comment right there. Julia, the show is yours. That song, what did that mean to you? What did you like about it?
I love that song because it's got a simple message, which is that there's a path out there, and it's golden. Meaning, it's the chosen path that's better, and you have to find it. And it's clear once, like Lester's saying, you can quiet your mind and quiet the things around you.
Yeah.
And the path appears.
And it's different for every person too. It's
Yes,
that's
right.
the big key. Like,
Exactly. But we can get so confused and I think, off track, off the path, by just succumbing to a lot of pressures around us, even whether it's self-imposed or they can be family, they can be society. I mean, you name it, just so many things, right, can pile up and kind of prevent you from seeing yourself and seeing, from my perspective, I say the gifts that God has given you and the way He's made you to be. I believe He has a purpose for everyone can get pretty specific, so I think the more that we can quiet our minds, the more we can hear what that is.
Nice answer.
Yeah,
Bring
well,
it,
that's
Julia.
just, improv here.
That's great.
grab all day long.
I love it. And that's what this show's all about. No
Yeah.
rules here. Brian, my friend, jump in here.
Speaking of no rules, I'm going to go back and just add to something, just how nice it's to play with Lester. When we first played music, he came to my house. I have a studio space upstairs where all the music and the bodywork happens, and so he brought a bunch of pedals and did his thing, and he had his guitar, and Lester's going along. He's like, "Oh, hey, man, yeah, everything's cool, yeah, everything's, yeah, cool." And then he starts singing. I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like, this guy's got some pipes. And so I really appreciate it. It was so Lester's range is really dynamic, which I really enjoy playing with, and combining that with the types of music that he creates. It's not just your standard singer-songwriter stuff. It's more thematic, and it's also, I feel, it's much more larger in like an atmospheric, like really creating a space. And I really like playing with people that are both thematic and they also create a lot of space. It's not just here are the chords, here's the music. There's that improvisation aspect and that dynamic range that he uses, which is really nice.
Nice. Very nice.
And the one other comment I had, both when Lester talked about going deep into yourself, I was at, if anyone knows Victor Wooten, he's one of the most amazing bass players in the world. He has a camp, music and nature camp, and so I went there last summer. And all his brothers were there too, which was an amazing treat. And so they all taught different things, and we sat down with his older brother Reggie, and Reggie's super cosmic dude and just gave us the download. And so I asked him, what advice do you have for people that are making a transition into music from another path of life where they've been in? So coming from my own personal experience, being a massage therapist for a while, taking a break from music, and then, wanting to get back into music more full time. And he said, take one thing and go into it as deep as you can, like as deeply as you can into that one thing. And I think it's really important to be aware of all the distractions that we have in life, and if we have one love, one passion, one thing that really makes us glow from the inside, is to go into it as deeply as possible, and all things will happen as they should.
It's beautiful. I'm going to throw it back to you. Before I do, I feel like, in some ways we all embody the gift of human connection. You guys have this gift, you through the amazing vocals, you through this guitar, your violin, your percussions. I think us as people, we just want to be seen, heard, and understood. Mm-hmm. That's the essence of what a lot of us just want. I want to be seen, heard, and understood. I think your music embodies a lot of those qualities. We see you, we hear you, we understand you. We take something from your lyrics and how you perform and your confidence and your energy and this ecosystem that's around you, and it applies to our life in some way. And that little piece that applies to us makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves during your show.
Well, it makes me feel good inside.
Yeah,
as well, so
and I'm feeling it right now. I'll stop. The show is yours, my friend. Is this the new release, potentially?
Yes, so this is kind of Brian talking about dynamics. This is going to be this is my first single that I've ever released. And the guy that I was working on it with, Marcus Saber, he's in this amazing group called Mita by Saba, and then also has another ambient side project called Alkai. And it was kind of a good practice in how about instead of always taking it up here or like starting high and kind of, he was like, how about try starting it kind of low and kind of coming from a different place within yourself and kind of flowing in that for a while and not always having to like have excitement and all these things. And so yeah, so this song is called Come My Way. And I actually wrote this when I was out in LA. And usually when I write a song, it just kind of pops out, and I'm like, whoa, here it comes, okay, and it just I just click record, and then it all pours out at once. And so this song is all about. I like to do this thing where I kind of like mess with people a little bit, where I'll write a song, and in the chorus, you'll think it's talking about one thing. And it can have like elements, kind of pop elements. But if you're actually listening to the lyrics, you realize that it's talking about something much deeper. And so with this song, it's called Come My Way, and it says, come my way, dear love. And most symbols have many layers of meaning. So like when somebody sees one thing, they'll think it's this, but if you have like a deeper knowledge, you'll understand that it actually represents other things. And so this song kind of taps into that. And it's not a love song per se between like two human beings, but it's more of a love song between life kind of calling out to you and wanting you to like go deeper and be like, there's so much more out there instead of just this like shallow existence that we're fed and indoctrinated into since birth. And so it's kind of saying, this is life calling out to us if we allow ourselves to quiet and kind of get away from the distractions. And you can always hear that voice that is always present if we take the time to listen, and it's there saying, like, come, follow me, like, let me show you there's much more out there. And so that's what this song is all about. And so this is called Come My Way, and so.
I'm grateful you're playing this here.
That's the.
For a little while, and it says, low with a smile, come my way to love, come my way to love. And you said that your mind is made and your heart will know. Oh, and love it just says again, and you will grow forever. Come my way, dear Lord. 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 Again, and you will grow forever. Come my way, dear Lord, and come my way, dear Lord. 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 Oh, come my way, dear Lord.
That song has the hook, man, and that song is very different than some of the other songs you play. I really love the pace of that song and like the story it tells, how it makes me feel. You got to be really, 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 really proud of that.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the dynamic, how it differs from some of your others, and what it means to you.
So this is, I don't know, it's an opportunity for me to kind of allow myself to be vulnerable, which has always been a really hard thing. Kind of growing up in like a small little country town and
Greenwood, what up?
Grows up, yeah. Used to skate in Greenwood, but yeah. So this is kind of. I used to get picked on a whole lot when I was younger for being kind of sensitive and kind of not like all the rest of the guys, and I was always, like kids used to throw rocks at me at the bus stop and stuff, and And so I hid that part of myself for a long time. And I later learned that my sensitivity is actually one of the biggest things that makes me kind of the strongest element of myself. And so, I don't know, this is kind of a message in a way, like not the song, but right now, this is kind of a message to all the people, especially the men that have been fed the lie that, like, you gotta be a man and be tough and, like, don't show your emotions and you can't cry and all of these things. That couldn't be any further from the truth. Like, now that I've learned to cry and let that part out and to be vulnerable and to be soft and all of these different things, it's really added so much more depth and appreciation and fulfillment, and knowing that it's okay to feel how you feel inside and to not hide that and to let it out. And I don't know.
It's a beautiful message.
Yeah, and it's really, really an important thing and it's really helped me heal a lot later on in life, because I grew up kind of surrounded by my sisters, essentially. And like my sister, like the one by blood, that I'd always be with her and her friends. And then my babysitter, who was very much like a mother to me, she had pretty much all daughters. And so I spent most of my time just around girls, and so that was kind of like, it was okay to be sensitive, and it really influenced me a lot. And later, once I hit middle school and started being taught that you got to be cool and all of these different things, all of that changed, and it really kind of went from like loving and appreciating and lifting up and really being in reverence to the feminine. I then went to a place to where I didn't really like kind of respect and appreciate it from the place that I once did, and kind of numbed myself to a whole lot of different things, and later realized that brought a lot of pain. And so now learning to let that sensitive side out and to be able to connect with women and the feminine energy without there being any of the sexuality behind it, and not feeling like, oh, you gotta be with somebody to like be cool or like prove your worth to all the guys. It's a really unhealthy path to walk down and go down. Because I remember for a long time, and pardon my French for in a little bit, but for a long time I was kind of like combed to be like a rock star, and like you got to become successful and do that, and I felt like I needed to be that thing to where I was like then worthy enough to be loved from like my uncle and different people, and so essentially my whole thing was like I wanted to be a rock star, and like part of that was to like get fucked up and to get fucked. And it was all about like as many women as you could get with, and that like made you even cooler. And in the long term, I realized that it made you less cool, and it really like emptied you out, and really it was a heavy thing. And so for me to heal all of that was a powerful thing, and to finally come back into that sensitive place and to that spot where I was as a child, and to also be sensitive enough to feel the energy within things, and to be in nature and to hear that voice that was speaking come my way and go deeper, and there's so much more. And so I don't know, I feel like it's a super important thing to go within ourselves and to not be afraid to cry.
Beautifully said. Jessica Russo in Costa Rica, she says, love you, Lester.
I love you so much.
Matt Humphrey watching says, love from Crozet. Megan Lee Adams says, you go. And I love this phrase. She goes, you go, comma, and this is the pronoun here, the noun, day brightener. Called you a day brightener. You're going to really appreciate this. Your dad. Mm-hmm. My son, Lester, is special, isn't he? And I can just tell from the thread, and he's not even here, just like beaming with pride for you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This is what's happening here is beautiful, and it's like getting me a little emotional here. And I love the vulnerability that you're showing today, because it takes obscene amounts of courage to show vulnerability like this in front of 6 cameras, microphones, 12 Facebook pages, freaking Costa Rica, Mexico, San Francisco, a bunch of different states, your hometown, and the people that potentially threw rocks at you when you were little. And I freaking respect that. We are an hour in. I'd love to go a little bit longer and have like maybe an encore if you guys are up for it.
Yeah.
The show is yours.
Cool. So this actually segues perfectly into it. The song is called "We're Never Gonna Wait," and it's essentially we're never gonna wait to open up our hearts and let them shine. And this song is all about coming into your power and believing in yourself and believing in your vulnerability and knowing that you are beautiful and that you don't have to hide that stuff inside any longer. And so this is kind of a message to all of those people that allowed themselves to be walked all over, never felt like they were enough, and just anybody that's holding their true selves in, because I've done that and it hurts. And that's actually what led to a very dark period of my life, was I stopped living for my heart and kind of sticking to that integrity and finally succumbed to like, oh, well, all these people are like, you must do this and this is the path you should be walking and you need to be successful. But later I learned from reading a quote that said, if you raise a child to be successful, they'll never be content. But if you raise a child to be content, success and happiness will follow them wherever they go. And I can really say that is a very true statement, because as soon as I came into the path of breaking down the illusion of I had to be successful to be enough and of worth, and decided to realize, wow, I'm surrounded by beauty and nature provides everything that we need, it made me realize that being content is, when you're content, you have true freedom. You can no longer be controlled and manipulated. And so yeah, this song is all about coming back into that joy of yourself and being content and happy with who you are and letting it out fully and letting it shine. And yeah, and then putting it out to others and lifting others up and being like, I see you're in a really hard time and it's okay to go through a hard time, but know that no difficulty comes to you without a gift in its hands, and they come to you because you need those gifts.
Before you play the song, this could even inspire you guys some more. Sasha, Keith, Zackerson,
Yeah.
we love you guys and your message and your
Love you,
music.
Sasha.
Lester, fantastic. Brian Combs, pro Renata. Lester is the man, a great heart. I look forward to watching the world get to know his music. Christina Pais, shine, my friend, shine. Michelle Gardner, so exciting. Lester and Julia, this music is absolutely amazing. Chris is watching in Charlotte. We are watching at our law firm on lunch break, and people are crowding around my desk, feeling inspired on a Friday. Okay?
Beautiful.
We will get out of your way.
Yeah, and just really quick too, I want to take this time talking about Brian and Pro Renata, is that I really got a lot of love and respect for them, because I pushed really hard with music when I was here in Charlottesville for a long time. And I later learned, it's like kind of that quote, it's like, don't chase the butterfly, mend your garden and tend to your garden, and the butterfly will come. But in those times when I was pressing really hard, I had different venues and kind of people in this area that it kind of broke my heart that like I felt like I wasn't really seen and respected. And Pro Renata always from the get-go immediately like supported me and loved me and showed me a lot of respect.
It's a great
so
spot.
for that, I really respect you guys and care a whole lot about y'all, and thank you. And the fact that it's in my hometown and kind of is in the location of where the Moose Lodge used to be, and kind of that culture that really, I don't know, like inspired me and showed me a lot of love, but also showed me a lot of hurdles and things of stuff that I had to work through later in life. And so it's kind of interesting how things change and grow over time. So yeah, this is We're Never Gonna Wait.
breath. Tell me, what do you feel? Staying inside is certainly real. And now you know yourself, and you must let it shine and grow. We're never gonna wait. We're never gonna wait till open up our hearts and let it shine. We're never gonna wait. We're never gonna wait till open, till open. We're never gonna wait. We're never gonna wait till open, till open. We're never gonna wait. We're never gonna wait till open, till open. All the love that you have inside. Oh, Lord, don't let it hide. And you wait for the way. And you wait for my love. We're never gonna wait. We're never gonna gone away. We're never gone away till open, till open. We're never gone away. We're never gone away till open, till open.
So beautiful. You guys are awesome. Awesome. If you can take, this is the phone we use for the show. I am not going to get to this anytime because this is going to take an extra 90 minutes to respond to your comments. Lester Seal and Julia and Brian have made us better today. I'm just blown away. I feel like the luckiest man in the world to sit next to you guys for the past hour and 15 minutes. I truly, genuinely mean that.
Thanks for having us, Jerry.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Close the show with how we can further be touched by your music, anything.
Yeah, so this is a new one for me that I can say. You can check me out on Instagram. We're going to be launching the page pretty soon. Well, it's already up. So if you're liking what you're hearing, you're able to go there now to Lester Seal Music on Instagram or Facebook, just Lester Seal. And so on Instagram is going to be kind of tracking the whole journey of my process. When I head back down to Costa Rica, I'm going to be shooting a bunch of video down there and doing a lot of content. And I'm going to be traveling all over, playing at this thing called Sound and Silence Festival and gathering, and just going to be kind of showing the whole process of my songwriting and getting ready for releasing the single coming out around May, is what I'm guessing. And we'll also kind of give light onto new song ideas and things that I'm working on in the time that will possibly be on my EP and definitely later on my album that I'm going to be doing. And so, yeah, so check it out. It's Instagram at Lester Seal Music, and it's kind of jazz.
I love it. I love it. Why don't we give you an opportunity and you an opportunity as well? Your sister is watching right now. She says the music is absolutely beautiful. Where's she watching from?
Is that Laura?
Yeah, Laura.
Yeah. She's from Enola, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Bashir on the Downtown Mall says, please send a special thank you to Brian.
Cool.
Why don't we start with you, Brian, where we can follow you?
I have a website. It has everything that I do, the bodywork, the yoga, and the music. Most importantly, it's catalystmaha.com. Maha stands for Music and Healing Arts. So catalystmaha.com. Please come, check out the music. Eventually some performance dates I'm going to plug in there. But there's a bunch of videos that I have there and music that I have recorded with good friends in Colorado, and another duo and solo percussion album that you can download. So everything's on there, catalystmaha.com.
Fantastic. And Julia, same for you.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Julia Kwolyk, and that's where I post my musical events. And I'll have some recording coming up as well in the next few months. No dates set to release, but yeah, feel free to reach out on Facebook.
Cool.
And it's KWOLYK. Thank you.
Nice. Our pleasure.
And Facebook too, for me. I'm kind of on there, yes.
Absolutely. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do with today's show. For those that are watching, that are asking to watch the show from start to finish, we're going to archive it on ilovecville.com. That's the audio and visual. We'll take the audio component and turn it into a podcast on iTunes today before we leave our office. For the next 2 weeks, we'll syndicate it across the I Love CVille network, which is comprised of 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, 4 Instagram accounts, 1 in I Love CVille that reaches 11,000 people. We have a newsletter that goes out every morning to 125,000 plus inboxes, of course, on our website and on iTunes. We close with the same message every single show. And anyone that's watching, we encourage everyone to please embody the golden rule. The people in your life who you come across, treat them how you want to be treated yourself. It's the golden rule. It's such a simple concept on paper, but it's a concept that is so needed in our world, especially our country. The golden rule. My name is Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille show. Enjoy your weekend.
My soul is fed. I'm gonna go back to work.
Should we get
Thank you
the?
so much. Thanks.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Should we get a picture? Like
Yes,
do.
let's
before
get
she
a
heads to.
Absolutely need to get a picture. We ran a little long. I hope that's okay
Oh,
with
it's
you.
fine.
Okay. Why don't we